kids up, got them organized, so
Yeah.
but it went well. It's
Okay.
good. Already. All right. All right, so we are live right now with Amanda Coombs, and we're excited to get this conversation started. So thank you guys all for joining us right now, okay? This is definitely
I lost I can't hear anything. I don't see Ellie. Oh, okay.
all right. Thank you for your patience. The purpose of this conversation is to implement a necessary tool for citizens to have access to information about the candidates that are running in and outside of their own communities, as well as to relay messages, news, information, community objectives, collaborative and partnership opportunities, identify various concerns, resolutions, and solutions. The objective of this conversation is to identify community partners and collaborators, research and formalize a committee of individuals who are of great interest in bettering our communities across the province of Ontario. So today I am very pleased to have Amanda Coombs, a longtime resident of Humber River Black Creek riding, where she also grew up, and is currently raising her own family. Amanda is a graduate of York University, where she's completed an undergraduate in psychology and is currently pursuing a master's degree in counseling while working as a mental health, first aid, and CPR instructor and Toronto community crisis worker. Amanda also applies for grants to ensure that these certifications are free of cost for residents. And for over 8 years, Amanda has been the voice for many of the residents of the Jane and Finch community as the TCHC tenant representative, assisting residents with many issues such as renovations, pest control, relocation, access to services, to navigating evictions and other legal proceedings. In her personal time, Amanda continues to serve the community by providing cultural, competent counseling services to residents and through organizations. She has founded like Back to Basics, youth support services, and Neighbors Helping Neighbors. She is a former board member of the Toronto Community Housing Corporation, the Tenants Services Committee, and the Building Investment Finance and Audit Committee. This year, Amanda was also named the Urban Hero and won the Good Neighbor Award for all of her community service. It is time for us to change the status quo in our community and allow for progress through change. Amanda does not believe in career politicians and believes that Ward 7 needs a new, fresh voice of representation in order for change to occur. We need the decision makers in our community to be people still in touch with reality, struggles, and experience of the residents. We do not need any more empty promises, inaction, or impacts to the community that only affect only affect and represent the 1%. So it is time for real change. Amanda is asking for your support and vote to elect her to take act so that she can represent the voice of the community on Toronto City Council and take action to make the necessary changes to achieve sustainable results. As your City Councillor, Amanda will continue to fight with even greater purpose and strength to help restore our community through its challenges and build a better, stronger, and united Humber River Black Creek community for all. So on October 24th, we are saying elect Amanda to be the voice of our community.
Yes.
So thank you, Amanda, so much for joining me here.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. So talk to us. You definitely, have exhumed a lot of leadership qualities. What does that word leader mean to you?
So the word leader to me means that you have the ability to influence others, to make an impact in whatever position that they may be in. That could be a teacher, that could be a CEO for a company, a nurse, a doctor, whatever career path you've chosen, that you're using it to ensure that you are uplifting others and that you're, influence others to make changes. When I think of the word leader, I also think of the word empowerment. And I think empowering others as the leaders and ensuring that while you are on that journey and you're climbing up the ladder, that there's other people coming up with you. So that's one thing I always try to do is ensure that wherever I'm going in life, that all the people around me are also moving up as well. And that's why I take so much pride in my role as a mental health first aid facilitator, because it gives me the opportunity to certify others so that they can go out in the community and support others who are experiencing mental health challenges.
Mm-hmm. Very important. So what led you to run for this position?
So I decided to run for this position. As many of you know, this is not my first rodeo. I ran 4 years ago, and I decided to run because I've been sitting down like much other people and realizing that if we really want to see changes in the community, then we need somebody that's going to be there that understands the challenges that many of us face, that can identify with many of the lived experiences with the constituents of Humber River Black Creek, but especially for those who reside in marginalized communities. Often people tell me that, I requested, to get a community center fixed or to get potholes in the road redone. We need more affordable housing. Repairs need to be done to our schools. But, if there's not people at City Hall who are actually living in the community or are raising their family in the community, but most importantly, that do not understand the challenges that people face, then why would they be advocating for those stuff? Because it doesn't affect them, right? So we really need to ensure that there is somebody at City Hall that understands the challenges that everyone else is experiencing. That it's not just a paycheck, but it's something that they're truly passionate about, and it's something that they really want to see happen. And right now, City Hall is not reflective of the community that it's supposed to represent. So I want to see people from all walks of life, people from all different socioeconomic brackets there at City Hall representing our communities.
Representation is huge. So talk to us about what that means to you. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So to me, representation means that, we have a voice at the table. And when I say we, I mean everybody that is supposed to be reflective of City Hall. I mean, people from different ethnicities, people from diverse sexual orientations, people with visible and non-visible disabilities, but everybody that City Hall is supposed to represent. And one of the reasons why I decided to run as well is because of the systemic barriers that are set in place, all that red tape that prevents, especially racialized individuals, newcomers, and other people as well from moving up and experiencing the best quality of life. So hopefully, if I am elected, it'll give me the opportunity, maybe not to break down all those walls, but at least I can like nibble it down, chisel it down a little bit, and pave the way for other people, that are hoping to run in the future or hoping to be in positions where they can contribute to these changes that we need to see systemically and as well in our community. And that's what representation means to me, that there's somebody that you can hold accountable at the table at City Hall, and people from various backgrounds, marginalized individuals, people from all different socioeconomic brackets. And it's not just something that's traditional, as we see with many candidates. It's like a family history, a legacy that has to be passed down through generations, right?
That's right, a legacy. I love that. So you mentioned as you are building your legacy, you ran 4 years ago. Talk to us about, what you learned running 4 years ago, and then what, led you to run again this time.
So 4 years ago when I ran, what I learned is that it's not that people are not interested in voting. It's just that they felt that there was nobody that they could vote for. And when we knocked the doors 4 years ago and we were speaking to people, many people were letting us know that they just felt defeated. They were like, what is the purpose in voting if, when you get to Toronto community, when you get to be on city council, how do we know that you're not going to just become another incumbent, or you're just going to be somebody else that's going to fill us with empty promises? So I looked at the feedback that I got 4 years ago, and I ensured that I made myself more visible. And even before I ran 4 years ago, this is something that I do every day. I'm an outreach worker. As you mentioned in my bio, I've been a tenant representative for the past 8 years, which means that I connect with residents. I help them address their needs and concerns, connect with them about initiatives. I apply for grants so that there can be programs in the community. So this is something that I'm passionate about. It's not just a selection time, I need status, I need power, but this is my everyday life. So nothing's going to change. And even after losing, or I don't like the word losing, but even after not being successful 4 years ago when I ran for city council, I still remained and continued to do the work that I've already been doing in the community. So that it speaks volumes, and it says a lot where my heart is, which is in the community. And yeah, so we looked at those strategies that we used last time. We realized that, people don't just want door hangers on their doors. They just don't want flyers. They want to be able to speak to people, connect with them, have real conversations, and they want to ensure that they're being heard. They want a voice at the table, and they want to be able to contribute to the conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, go deeper on that voting, because especially in our community, a lot of us will have that challenge, not going to the polls because we don't feel that our voices are being heard. How do we know that our voices will be heard if we go to the polls?
So one of the things, as I just mentioned, is that this is, part of my career. It's what I do every day, but you can hold me accountable. And anyone will tell you, like, if you need Amanda, she's always there. And if she's not there, if you leave a message, she will get back to you, right? And one of the things that I want to do as well is ensure that, I have a team of people who are doing outreach continually in the community, even when I can't be out there, but they're always going to be out there, on a weekly basis, connecting with residents, and they'll be my eyes, my ears, when I'm not able to be out there, to ensure that people feel that their feelings are validated and they are being heard, not just listened to, but, they're actually being heard and that they're being valued. So definitely we'll have an outreach team, and I'll have regular town hall meetings to ensure that residents are being connected, and not just for marginalized communities, but also for, people that live outside of those places as well. Yeah.
Mm. And I like that you mentioned that as well, because there is a great focus on marginalized communities, but there should also be a focus on, the middle class and everybody else, that falls into whatever bracket.
Everyone else, yes.
Right. So, yes, it's very concerning that we do support who needs the support, but wherever we can, right? So, I like that you definitely mentioned that.
And the response has been like so positive, especially when we've been knocking the doors in some of like the privately owned homeowners communities. We've realized that they're also tired, and they're ready for a change too. They're really ready for a change too, and that's one of the major differences between this year and last year. I think 4 years ago we focused mostly on low-income communities, but this year we're like, let's expand, let's go out and see what everybody is saying, not just on a particular demographic.
Definitely. And so, of course, you're running in the same ward that I live in. So this is very, very, we'd like to
Yes.
see some significant changes.
Yes.
As you know, living in this community, we have seen some of the same things happening throughout the years.
Mhm.
So as a city councillor, what are some of the changes that you would like to see in this ward?
Yeah. So one of my I would say my number one priority is gun violence in our community, and that's affecting everyone. I am tired of turning on the news and seeing another youth in our ward that has fallen victim to gun violence into the streets. And one thing I would like to implement, work alongside whoever's going to be elected as our school board trustee, is a mandatory mentorship program. And I've seen how successful and effective this is with the programs that I've run inside of the prison. So I've had the opportunity to go into Beaver Creek Institution and teach an entrepreneurship program to many of the men who are housed there. And some of these men, when that I've taught this program to, when they've came out of the prison, they were able to mentor some of the younger youth that I've counseled. And I've seen a lot of these youth make a complete 360, but not just the men who have come out of the justice system and have changed their life, but we have a lot of females as well in our community and other men who are just doing wonderful things, who could be very, very a positive role model to so many of our youth and children in the school. So implementing a mandatory mentorship program in our schools, where in order for our children or our youth to graduate, they have to go through that program to get their diploma. And that way they have somebody that can be there to journey along with them when they're, feeling peer pressured, when they are faced with their back up against the wall to make, poor or unfortunate decisions that might lead them into going into the justice system. And that's one thing that I definitely would like to implement. And then affordable housing, of course, which is a major issue in our community, but not just how can we build more affordable housing, but how can we ensure that we're maintaining the housing that we already have in place. We've seen what happened with Fir Grove, in other areas of the city, Region Park. Why is it that we wait until these buildings and houses are falling apart before we think we decide that we're going to do something? So we need to look at preventative measures. And then, of course, gentrification. So I'm all for economic development, but just not at the back of the residents. So we need a balance. With the condos going up, the LRT, of course, taxes are going up, people's rents are going up, we have inflation. But how can we ensure that as residents that we have a voice in these condominiums going up? I like to see at least even 40% of those units subsidized for people that already live in the community. And when we talk about economic development, many of these buildings, the ground floors are available for leasing opportunities. I would like to see people that reside in Humber River Back Creek have priority access to those spaces at a subsidized cost so that they can develop economic opportunities for themselves. And another thing that I would like to implement when it comes to affordable housing is capping the rent for people who live in subsidized housing, because it's very unfortunate. And this story is not unique to me because I've experienced this as well, but to so many others where, you started off as a student or as somebody in a low income bracket and your rent was $300 a month. And then you graduated from school and you got a great salary, or you started, your pay was increased and now you're paying $1,200 a month, right? So we really need to look at that term affordable and ensure that it stays affordable, because once your affordable rent goes into market rent, that term affordable doesn't exist anymore. So capping the rent, I believe, would give people the opportunity to save so that they can at least have a possibility to obtain a home, to purchase a home. But when you are saving and you're like, okay, this is great, my rent is, below $500, I can save, and, maybe my family, we can own a home in the near future. And then you start making money and you have to decide, do I quit school? Do I take 2 years off so that, I can pay my rent? And no one should have to be forced to make that decision. But then we also have to look at, and I know this is probably going to be a little bit controversial, we also have to look at the fact that there are many people who are living in, subsidized housing or Toronto community housing who are overhoused, which means they are in a unit with maybe 5 members of their family. That's a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom. And then there's people who are overhoused in the sense, that there's one individual living in a unit, a 3-bedroom unit, and then underhoused in the sense that, we have so many families living together in like a 2-bedroom. So we really need to ensure that we're actually looking at, the amount of time that people are spending in these units, and ensuring that we're freeing up those spaces so that people don't have to wait 10 years in order to get a subsidized unit. So if somebody has a 3-bedroom, your kids have moved out, I know you want to stay in the community, you want to hold on to that building, but think about all the other people who desperately need, that unit. And we need to make accommodations, because it's not that people don't want to move, they don't want to be relocated somewhere else. And Toronto Community Housing and co-ops, they don't offer that choice where you can move and stay in that apartment building. It goes to somebody else and you have to be relocated, which is why a lot of people are holding on to 3 bedrooms, even though they're the only individual living in that home. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know there's a lot of sentimental value, especially when you are living in a community for so long and your children have grown up in the home. It's hard to leave it. So we totally get it. But it does make sense what you're saying. Perfect sense. So do you plan on continuing a career, or not necessarily a career? I'm saying career because I did read it in your bio and that just went in my mind, but do you plan on staying in politics?
So I do not like the word politics or politician, right? I just think of myself as a community advocate, and that's something that I will always continue to do on any scale possible. So whatever opportunities present itself, as I said, I don't believe in career politicians. I think that it should be termed. I don't think anyone should be able to sit in a seat for 30 years. I think you become complacent after a while. Anyone, when you're at a job doing the same thing over and over, eventually you start to lose your passion and that vision and the things that motivated you to get involved in that career in the first place. So yeah, I would like to definitely maybe one day look into running for even a higher position in Parliament where I can really, really make some fundamental changes, right? But right now, I'm interested in changing things locally, and then let's think about a provincial or federal level later on in the future.
Yes, for sure. Sounds good. So how can the community get involved?
So we have literally like 3 days left until it's, voting day, Monday, October 24th. And this is the last push. So we need volunteers. We are in need of volunteers to cover small little pockets that we have left. So if you have any time to spare, even if you can come out for an hour, that still means a lot. You don't have to be out with us for the whole entire day, but even if you can spare an hour, we would really appreciate it. If you are somebody that's going out to vote and you know that there's maybe a senior that has mobility issues or other people that want to vote, but they just not able to get there, and you drive, you pick up your neighbors, pick up your friends, carpool, make an event out of it, and you guys go out there and go out to vote and spread the word, and, encourage people in your buildings to vote. We can drop off flyers to you, door hangers to you, newsletters to you. If you like to flyer even your own building that you live in or your own neighborhood to let people know that they need to come out to vote, we can give that to you as well. So you can reach out through phone or by email, and either myself or one of my team members will get back to you immediately.
That's good. That's good. So we got to get out there. We got to assist and help. Talk to us about the importance of community involvement when it comes to canvassing.
Yeah, so it's so important that we have people from, and I'm really happy to say that everyone that is on the team, that they all live in Humber River, Black Creek, right, the ward. So they can answer a lot of questions that many of the constituents have. They can also relate and identify with many of the challenges that people are expressing that they want to see resolved over the next couple of years. So it's very, very important that we have like the community out here with us, holding our hands and helping us to go out there and reach as many doors as possible. And I'm only where I'm at today because of the community and because of the residents, them believing in me, supporting me, my goals, my initiatives, and just standing by me. And I appreciate them so much, because without them, I wouldn't even be here today having this interview with you. Yeah.
Yes, community is everything, right?
It is, it is everything. Yeah.
Everything. So how do we voice our concerns as community members? Like if we have any concerns, if we have like, let's say, you're bringing up a lot of issues, maybe somebody out there has a solution. How do we reach out?
So I would say, and the response that I have received since I decided to run has been enormous. I literally answer, I don't even know if it's 30 to 40 emails a day about people asking me what is my view on policing in schools, what's my view on affordable housing, what's my view on vaccine mandates. And I would say continue to send emails, continue to phone me. I do jot everything down. I have a spreadsheet where our wonderful students who are volunteering, Pearl and Regina and Thu, God bless them, they are like on that computer 24/7 login data. They are always keeping note of everything. And as I said, like the more it's a collaborative effort, right? Individually, by myself, I can't make an impact, but collectively, our voice has power. And it's the same thing for strategies and solutions. We can put together all of the different ideas we have, brainstorm, and see how we can combine them to come up with like long-term, sustainable, lasting solutions over the next 4 years to help to resolve many of the issues that we're all experiencing in Humber River Black Creek.
And yeah, so you mentioned about collaborative efforts and working together. And previously you had mentioned about working as a city councilor with the trustees in the community. Talk to us about how that connection would be significant to our ward as well.
So I believe that like no one is an island and you cannot do anything by yourself, and partnerships are so powerful. On any initiative I have, I've either partnered with various organizations in my community, I've partnered with local churches to ensure that I'm reaching a wider audience and that, all of our ideas and wonderful ideas that we have are being combined to ensure that we're coming up with viable solutions. So I'm all about partnerships. If you have an organization in the community, if you are on a private corporation and you think that you can contribute to an area, any of the areas that I've just mentioned, or any one of the priorities on my platform, I do encourage you to reach out. And I think that it's through collaborations, not just at the municipal level, but with other levels of government, with other organizations, with the trustee, with the mayor, that we're really going to see some of these things done, because it is a collective effort. A lot of the things that we need to see changed in the community, it can't be done with just my level of government alone. It has to be done in partnership with the others. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's very important too, mentioning about collaborative efforts working together, especially now more than ever. We see people in our community branding together, pulling together, trying to see a change. So we do see that something is happening. Talk to us about like what you see. What is your envision of maybe a couple of years from now within our community?
So a couple of years from now, if elected, one of the things that I see happening is more unity. More unity, because everybody's going to be able to have a voice at the table, and everybody's opinions, their strategies, their thoughts, they're going to realize it's not falling on deaf ears. There'll be frequent meetings with different areas in our riding, with different members of our community, to ensure that we're coming up once again with very viable and long-lasting solutions to a lot of the issues, that keep resurfacing or that have never been resolved. And we will also see that we're not going to be at the drawing board anymore for a long time. And I think that's something that a lot of residents are tired of. We're always talking about these are the changes that need to be seen. And we have these meetings where we come up with all these ideas, but no one ever follows through. There's never a solution. It's just always like possibilities. And now we need to see solutions. We need to see things in concrete where we can say, okay, this is how we can come up with the solution for this problem. And this is the strategy, or this is the steps that we're going to take to solve these issues. And the next 4 years, I really do see if things go as they should, I really do see more affordable housing being built. I see a reduction in crime in our community. I see more students, more youth in our community, and our individuals really pursuing higher education and careers that are outside of the box, that they sort of been put in. Not that there's anything wrong with, with trades or anything like that, but I feel that especially in the Humber River Black Creek community, many people are pursuing like early educational worker stuff. And when I speak to a lot of the youth and adults, why are you pursuing this path? They say, oh, as a child, my mom had to work 2 jobs. I was around ECE workers all the time, and it was close to me. They're inspirational, and things like that. But we also see as well in our community that many of the job fairs that we have, they're not anything centered around careers or higher income. We have so many signs around for factory jobs, low income jobs. So we really need to ensure that we are setting the way, or paving the way, for our youth, the next generation. And that's one of the reasons why I say partnerships are so important. We have the TD Community Engagement Center as well upstairs in York Gate Mall that ensures that York University has a presence in our community. But people like yourself, I can list out so many names of people in our community who are influencers, definitely to have a seat at that table, to be a face for others to look up to, and to realize that they can shatter those glass ceilings. Yeah.
I love that.
Yes.
Thinking outside of the box, I remember an interview I did a little while ago with somebody who mentioned, instead of think outside of the box, just throw the entire box away, because
yes. Oh, I love that.
You know what I mean?
That.
Like,
I love that.
Why are we thinking about this box? Like, just dash it.
Yes.
But yes.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. No, I love that. Collaboration is the key.
Yes.
I do see in our community a lot of great things happening. So this definitely, it's going to be, we're going to definitely see the changes that you're talking about, for sure. What are some of the greatest lessons that you've learned about running for office, both, I guess, within yourself and then within our community?
I've learned that you really have to take things with a grain of salt. It's important to stay focused on the reasons why you started, and not to everything that's happening around you. So to block out the noise, block out all the negativity. I've knocked on a lot of doors where, I've been met with people, oh, who are you? Why are you running in this neighborhood? You're not, I'll just say it. You're not like me. Like, you don't have our skin color, or, this neighborhood belongs to this person because they've been here for so long. And just really to just remember why you're doing it, and it's for the people, and it's to ensure that others don't have to endure such things like what myself and some of our team members had to. So just really staying focused, keeping that tunnel vision, blocking out the noise. I've also learned that that you have to ensure that the people around you are also taken care of as well, and that they're feeling that their voices are being heard, and they're feeling that their feelings are being validated. So not just myself, but ensure that my team as well feels supported. And also I've also learned that that I've learned that I'm a lot stronger than I thought I was, right? And that it's really mind over matter, and that, as long as I stay focused, and I have people supporting me, not just directly, but indirectly, it does ease that burden, and it makes the journey the load a little bit lighter. So really overall, just to stay focused, as I said, like, not listen to like all the negative things around you. I've mentioned before, like, my signs were being destroyed. They were being taken down. And at one point I was like, oh, this is exhausting. Every morning we have to go out and put all the signs back up again. And it's only the large signs. And we did that, but we played some music while we were doing it. We made sure we got involved. We didn't hire anyone. We just put those signs back together ourselves, and we just continued to keep going, right? So just reflecting back on what others have gone to to pave the way for us as well, like, you know, our ancestors, to ensure that we could even be here to have this platform, or I could be here sitting saying that I'm running for you know, office as city councilor, and just to ensure that I continue to do that for the next generation. So a lot of lessons. There's been a lot of lessons, and just to know that, you know, there's no mountain that's too big enough that can't be moved. You know. Yes.
Okay, that's what we like to hear. That's
Yes.
what we like to hear. You're out here moving mountains.
Yes.
No, that's definitely important. So what inspires you? You definitely are a huge inspiration. You're out here doing so much work. People are motivated by you and very inspired by the work that you're doing. But what inspires you?
I would say definitely my son. I have a son who's a teenager, and I see some of the challenges that he experiences as a young Black man, you know, especially in the community that I live in. It's sometimes I have to be worried, like when he goes out, like take those shades off, you know, take down that hoodie, you know, don't wear that hat, you know, pull up your pants, just because I don't want him to be stigmatized, or I don't want him to be somebody that's profiled, you know. So yeah, definitely thinking about my son and other young boys his age, and not just myself, but as being a young Black woman as well, and seeing others, you know, some of the challenges that they're facing, and just really ensuring, like, what can I do to ensure that the other, you know, young people coming up, that, you know, that they don't have to go through so many of these things, even if it's not 5 years from now, but even 20 years from now, you know, that they don't have these obstacles. So I would say the circumstance that I currently live in is what inspires me. I would say my son is what inspires me, my family, having a mother who raised me and my sisters on her own, and really, you know, just embodies the definition of tenacity, just, you know, and resilience, just keep on going no matter what circumstances are you're faced with. And yeah, just so many people around me like that inspire me. If I was to list out every single person, we'd be here all day. My pastors, my friends, my family, you, like, everyone that I'm connected to. There's a lot of people that inspire me. I can, the whole entire community, and everybody plays a part, whether it's big or small. Just knocking a door, just putting a flyer in a mailbox, you know, just speaking up for somebody when you see something's been wrong. You know, even children. I posted some videos with kids while I was nailing down signs that stopped and asked, you know, is that you? And sharing the things that they want to be when they grow up, even telling me they want to put braces on. And I'm like, no, you don't. This is this is not part of running, but I appreciate it. You don't want to put braces on. I want to get them off. But yeah, seeing these, hearing from the little children, and yeah, everybody inspires me in this community. Everybody, there's so much. I just love Humber River Black Creek. It's a large ward, a mega ward, but it's so closely knit. You know, everyone just supports one another. We uplift one another, and we really just want to see the best for our community and for everyone involved here that resides here. Mm-hmm.
Definitely, 100%. And you know, it's important that you mentioned that there was somebody that seen you and said, hey, you know what, I want to have braces.
Yeah.
Because they see somebody that looks like them, that they
Yes.
possibly can grow up to be exactly like, you know, and that's huge. That's a huge inspiration. So being a leader in our community and having the communication and the collaboration with the other leaders in our community, and the way that you can relate to the youngsters, especially the youth, because they are the future. It's really super important.
Yes.
So talk to us, tell us what running for this election means to you, and why we should vote on October 24th for Amanda Combs.
This election means everything to me. I mean, I've sacrificed my self-care, my personal time with my son, not just me, but my entire team. Like they've been out here with me, rain, in the cold yesterday, knocking doors, freezing. And, I've worked really hard. I've put in double the work than I did 4 years ago, just to really ensure that I have a presence, not just in, as I mentioned, marginalized communities, but in every pocket of Humber River, Black Creek. And, when the wards were combined, it was very, I felt very deterred to even continue, because I was just like, how am I going to be able to reach Islington? How am I going to be able to reach Weston Road? And, I don't want to get into details of why I think the wards were combined and what it does for grassroots initiatives, or for people like me that want to run and having to cover such a large area with flyers or with signs. But I am so grateful for the community and, their support with fundraising efforts and with the donations, so that I was able to really cover a lot of the essential costs for this campaign. And it does mean a lot to me, because I live here and I raise my family here. I work in the community, and the same stuff that I want for myself and for my family is what I want for everybody that lives in Humber River, Black Creek. But the only way that we're going to see these things realized is if we go out and vote. And I know a lot of people just feel defeated. They feel hopeless. They feel like nothing is going to change, but you don't have to accept the status quo. You don't have to accept the way things have been for the past couple of decades because you feel that's what's been continually dished out to you. We can change what's been served. We can change that menu, right? By going out and vote. Your vote has power. Your vote is your voice. Your vote is your way of saying enough is enough. Your vote is your way of saying that I want to make sure that, when Monday, October 24th comes, that I have somebody that's truly going to represent me, that's not just going to say it, but it's going to follow through with action to ensure that she and her family and us, ourselves, our constituents of Humber River, Black Creek have a better community to live in.
Okay, great. And so I just honestly want to thank you so much for coming through. I appreciate you for coming in, talking to us and telling us, what your views are and the different things that you want to see changed in our community. Before I let you go, I want to know if you have like a quote or something inspirational that you would like to leave us with.
I have a quote. I should have prepared one. I don't really have a quote, but one thing that I would say is that anything that you want to do, it's achievable, right? As you mentioned, throw away the box. Don't let anyone tell you that you cannot be the next prime minister. Don't let anyone tell you that you cannot be the next MPP or you cannot be the next MP. You can do anything that you put your mind to. When I was in high school, my guidance counselor looked at me, and when I told her I wanted to be a psychologist and said, I'm putting my hat a little bit too high where I can't reach it. And, that story is not unique to me. There's so many students who have gone into their guidance counselor office and have been told the same thing and left that office feeling that, they can't make anything out of themselves. So I would say, do not let your circumstances define you. You can rise above whatever it is that you've gone through in life, and you can turn everything around. Just find the right people to walk along with you and to support you. And if you don't know who is there or available to be a mentor or a role model for you, reach out to me. I'm sure Ellie has people as well that she can connect you to, or, reach out to somebody that you can relate to in your community or in your school to make sure that's done. So yeah, just, you can do anything you put your mind to. There's no mountain that's too big to move. No matter how long they've been in office, you can do it. Just come out and vote. Yes.
Great.
Yes.
So talk to us about where we can vote.
All right. So, depending on where you live in the ward, and there's a lot of different locations to go to vote. It's normally either your closest school, or your closest community center where you'll go to vote. You should have received a voter's card in the mail either this week or last week that has the location that you will go to vote. But if you're unsure, you can call Elections Canada and give them your address. And you could even look it up online and they will let you know where your closest location is to vote. But if you're in doubt, it's pretty much always your closest school or community center. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, Amanda, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. I'm over on the Islington side, and I can tell you that we have your flyers over here. We see your posters.
Thank you.
You're out here. So you have reached our side. We see you. We see you.
Thank you. And if you see a sign that's damaged or bent or thrown down, please feel free to pick it up and just put it back in the ground. And that's your way of saying that, you know, I'm taking a stance and my voice has power and you can't silence me. I'm coming out to vote October 24th. Yes. Yes.
All right. Okay, Amanda, thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
And we will see you. Good luck.
All right. Thank you so much.
Out there.
All right.
Okay. All right. Bye. Take care. Bye. All right, guys. Now we are super excited about this election coming up. City elections, Monday, October 24th. So if you haven't gotten your voter's card, as you heard Amanda say, you definitely want to make sure that you call Elections Canada, call your local community center, call whoever's running in your local area, get in touch with them and ask them where you can go to get to vote. Okay, make sure that your voice is heard, your voice matters, and connect with your community members to see what's going on in your city. Okay, I just want to thank you guys. Thank Amanda for coming through, and yes, thank you all. All right, so make sure you head over to vote for your city councilors and trustees on Monday, October 24th in your ward. Take care, guys.